Hi everybody, so welcome back to my last day of my 2016 Christmas cards, projects, and gifts. So today's video, I'm going to show you some things that I've done with the embroidery machine again, and I've actually done a couple of cards, but I didn't use a silhouette except for my print and cut inside sentiment. But these cards were really quick and easy to make, and it wasn't that painful for me to make them because I actually got my husband to cut the cardstock out for me. So let me go ahead and get started with some of the stuff that I've done. So I showed in a previous video some pencil toppers that I did, and I did these for my husband's niece's son and daughter. The son is a big Ninja Turtle fan, so I went ahead and did these using the embroidery machine. I believe this one is Michelangelo. I could be wrong. I used to know all of these because my son was a real big, huge Ninja Turtle fan. He loved the Ninja Turtles. He watched the cartoon, he watched the series, I took him to the movies, the whole thing. So like I said, I used to know him by heart, but I don't remember if this is Michelangelo or which one this is. But I did do, because I know what this one is actually Donatello, because my son loved Donatello, and notice his mask is purple. So my son likes purple too, I guess. And then I went ahead and did for a young lady some butterfly pencil toppers. And these are just like the other two that I did in the previous video. And those actually were for Skylar's granddaughter, Logan, whose favorite color happens to be purple. And the young lady that I made these for, her favorite color happens to be pink. Some other things that I've done as far as toppers is I did these two for my son. He is a chef at a restaurant, and I did these, but instead of putting pencils, I put pens in these. And I actually went ahead and spelled out his name on these two. Now the file doesn't come with a name for you to put in there. I did that by doing it on my embroidery machine and spelling out the name. So that's what those look like. And oh, I didn't show the back. On the back of these, I just have the same fabric, which is basically, it's called a marine vinyl, and this is a glitter vinyl. And I actually purchased this vinyl, the green, at Joann's, but the glitter vinyl I had to purchase online. And I'll put links to where I got the glitter vinyl if you're interested. As well as this vinyl actually came from Joann's. And I only bought a little bit of this, and I wish I had bought more because I really like this one, so I might have to go back and get some more. And the same with this one. This was purchased at Joann's as well. So now, when I originally did these at first, I didn't put the same on the back as I had on the front. I actually put felt, and once I cut it out, I didn't like the way it looked, and also I made the mistake of closing up the back, so then I couldn't get the pen or pencil through. So, you know me, I don't like to waste things. So what I ended up doing was, I ended up opening up, stitching down here a little bit so I could squeeze in these little paper clips. So my son collects recipes, and I years ago made him a recipe book for him to put all of his recipes and things in, and things that he wanted to write down on something that he wanted to try and make. And so I decided to go ahead and take these and put paper clips inside so he can just clip these in his recipe books. So it's just regular jumbo paper clips that I picked up at the dollar store. And as I said, I originally put felt on the back, and I kind of didn't like the way the felt looked. So that's what I did with that. And then I also went ahead and made him this little snap tab key fob that he can hook onto his keys or hook onto whatever he wants. And it snaps open like this, and then it just snaps back. And it is in the shape of a chef's hat, and I kind of put his name down here at the bottom. Now the file does come with the word chef, and then I added his name along here. So that's it for the pencil toppers. So let me move on to the next thing. And this actually is something that I did, and I thought about, about 1 o'clock in the morning. A light bulb went off in my head. I bought some plastic ornaments last year, or even the year before. I think it was the year that I did the Christmas bulbs with the glitter. And I started thinking back to all the thread. So someone that's a sewer or uses an embroidery machine will appreciate what I'm talking about. I have a ton of thread that I've cut when I'm switching to a new color in the embroidery machine, or I'm switching to a new color when I'm sewing a garment. And I've been saving the thread and throwing it into this bucket. And I started thinking, why am I saving this? What in the world am I ever going to do with it? And like I said, about 1 o'clock this morning, I started thinking, aha, I have those Christmas ornaments that I bought that were plastic. So what I decided to do was, I went ahead and took some of that thread and stuck it down inside the bulb or the Christmas ornament. And then I took some stickers that actually I got from Skylar, and I added them on the bulb or the ornament, and then I just added a bow and some little trim here. And I think what I'm going to do is, because I have tons of that thread, like I said, I've just been throwing it in a bucket instead of just throwing it away. This is probably going to be what I'm going to give away to some of the women that I know sew as a Christmas gift for next year. So, hey, I'm already ahead for Christmas of 2017. How about that? And then with this one, that's why I kept saying a bulb, because this one is in the shape of a light bulb. And this is what I've done with this one. I've just taken those scraps of thread, thrown them inside here, and then I went ahead and put some stickers on here, and added some ribbon here at the top, and some trim, and a bow. So that is what I've done with all those scraps of thread. And believe me, I've got tons of it. So now I'm going to show you the cards that I did. And I didn't use the embroidery machine. Okay, so here is my first card. And this actually was a piece of cardstock that came out of this paper pack. It's the Botanical Noel, and this is by Recollection. And I picked this up, I think, maybe 2-3 years ago at Michael's. That's their brand. And I'm trying to see, I don't think I have another sheet of what that looks like. Okay, here it is. So it comes like, let's see if I can get this in the camera. It comes like this. So you get 4 on one sheet. And what I asked my husband to do was to cut them apart for me, because I'm still having problems with the hand and shoulder, and having to, you know, use the paper trimmer is just really still difficult for me. So I asked him to just cut them up for me and separate them, and then I took it from there. So I put this one on here, and I put this on some glitter cardstock paper that I had. It was a scrap of paper, and it was actually already cut in the size that I needed, so all I had to do was take it and fold it in half and score it. So then I went ahead and added a little bow sticker up here, and then I added some more stickers along here and down here, and then I took some stickos and colored in the rows. And this card is actually for a male. It's actually for my husband, so he didn't know he was cutting out his own card. And I stamped out Merry Christmas on the front. And then for my inside sentiment, I used the silhouette and did the print and cut. And I'm not going to show you that because it's kind of personal to him. And to get this to stick on here, I actually end up using some score tape because it just was not sticking with the ATG gun. So now for my next card, it looks like this. And once again, I used that same cardstock, and I went ahead and I stamped out the stamp piece and the Happy Holidays. And I used my We Are Memory Keeper Precision Press. Looks like this. And I apologize for that glare. Now, I do have the Misty, and I purchased the Misty and I've used it. But then I saw the We Are Memory Keeper's Precision Press on HSN when they were having a crafting day. And I have to say, I really prefer the We Are Memory Precision Press. I like it because of the main reason is that it opens this way. And I seem to get a better stamp when I use it this way. When I use the Misty, I don't get a good stamp when I try to stamp anything. Every time I get a partial stamp, and then I have to go back and stamp again, and sometimes stamp again, and I'm just happier with this one. And that was a gift from Skylar. So let me go on about my card. And what I did was I had a scrap of this cardstock already cut to size, and when my husband cut this one for me, I had him actually cut off 4, so if I needed to use or make another card, I would have it. And then I went and took some stickles and just put some along the leaves, and I didn't do it on every leaf, just some of them, just to give it a little dimension. And then down here I've added a poinsettia, and this was actually a button, and I just took the shank off the back. And then I added these 2 little bells down here, and once again a sticker ribbon. So that is the 2 cards, and this is actually my last 2 cards. One was for my husband and one was for my son. So I'm done with all my cards. So now the last thing that I'm going to show you is I made these, and I'm looking for them. Okay, what did I do with them? I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so I found what I was looking for. So now, many of you have probably seen people putting vinyl on the glass blocks or decorating glass blocks and then adding lights in the inside. So I decided I was going to try doing this. Skylar had did some, and she sent me a picture, and I fell in love with them. So instead of doing cards for my in-laws, I decided to give them a decorated glass block. So it became easier for me that I wouldn't have to use my silhouette, because Skylar pointed out to me that she was able to find these pieces of vinyl transfer sheets that already had something on them, and you didn't have to use your silhouette and cut everything out and then do the weeding with your vinyl and so forth. And so she picked some of these up for me because I could not find them at my Hobby Lobbies here. I went to all 3 of them and they did not have them. So she was kind enough to send me a couple of them. And this is one of them that I did not use that I'm probably going to save for next year. And so that's what they look like. But if you have an AC Moore near you, and actually her Hobby Lobby had them, but she found most of them at AC Moore. You can check it out and use these. They are a lot easier to use. You basically just peel off the back, you place the sheet, the vinyl transfer, wherever you want it on the glass block, and then you just rub, and then it comes off onto the glass block. So now I'm going to go ahead and move to a different room in my house so that I can show you the glass blocks that I did. I won't be able to do it from the camera angle of where I'm sitting at right now. So stay tuned for that, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, everybody, so here is the first one that I did, and this is actually a purchase bow. I did make some where I made my own bows, but I just wanted to show this one real quick. So as I said, these are really simple to do. You actually didn't have to use your silhouette, but you can, or your Cricut if you want. But Skylar sent me some already cut out vinyl images that all I had to do was just put them on the glass block. So I'll show that in just a few minutes, but I wanted you to see what the first one looks like, and then I'm going to turn the lights down so you can see what it looks like when the lights are off and you're using the LEDs that I've put inside. Now each one of them does have netting in there. I just took like a half a yard and stuck that down in there, but I put the lights in first and then I stuck down the netting, and then I put the bow on top. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, everybody, so I wanted you to see what it looks like when the lights are off and it is flashing. I have it on the flash setting right now, and I really like the way these came out. So this is what it looks like when it is a solid and it's not flashing. Now, as I said, these are settings that you can do on the battery operated LED lights. That's what you make sure you purchase. It's the LEDs. Okay, everybody, so here is my next one that I did, and this bow I actually did watching a YouTube video, and it's a very old video, and if I remember, I'll put a link in the description box where I learned how to make these type of bows. I didn't use my Bow Easy for this or my Bow It All tool. I kind of really wanted these bows to really fluff out, so I went ahead and found this video, and like I said, I will put that video down in the description box. But this one is with the lights not turned on, so now I'm going to turn the lights off so you can see what it looks like when the lights are off. So here it is with the lights solid, and I'll show you what it looks like when the lights are flashing. And here it is when the lights are flashing. I personally like the ones when the lights are flashing. I just think that makes it look so more Christmassy, if that's a word. But I really like the way these work out. Okay, everybody, so here is the next one, and once again I've put the image on the glass block, and then I added the lights, and then I added the netting. And for my bow, this time I used a combination of two different ribbons to make the bow. And what I'll do is, because I'm filming this in a different area in my house, this is normally where I film when I take the pictures of the cards or whatever I've made, and then I show that at the end of the video. But I wanted you to see the full effect with the lights on, so I came to that other area in my house. But I will show the bows later in the video. So now let me show you what this one looks like when we turn the lights out. So this is what this one looks like with the lights out, and this one is just a solid. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the flashing. So here it is with the lights flashing, and like I said, I just really like the way it looks when the lights are flashing. Now when you put your netting and your lights in, you kind of have to just put it in there, turn your lights on, see what it looks like, and if you don't like it, just move things around. I kind of wanted my lights behind the netting. I didn't want you to see the green string from the lights themselves. So that's why I did mine this way. You can do yours whatever way you want. And remember, you have to use the LED lights. I made the mistake of buying the other lights, and I noticed they were getting hot, and I was concerned that the netting being inside, that there would cause a fire. But I talked to Skylar. Thank you, Skylar. She always comes through for me. And she told me I needed to get the LEDs. So I went to the hardware store, actually, and I found the LEDs. And guess what, guys? They were on sale. So that made it even better. You know how I love that deal. So now, I'm going to bring up the last one. So stay tuned. So everybody, so this is the last one. And this is, once again, the vinyl. And then I've made my bow here at the top and added the netting and the lights. So now, with this one, I think this one is my favorite. I really like the way that silver and black and that white go together. It kind of reminds me of the colors that I used in my wedding. So I'm going to turn the lights off and let you see what this one looks like. Okay, so here it is with the lights solid. So now let's bring in the favorite one, the flashing lights. And here it is with the lights flashing. Now there may be a glare when you see this. I kind of hope there isn't, but anyway, that's what it looks like. So those are my glass blocks. Okay everybody, as I promised, I am showing you the bows that I did with the video that I saw on YouTube. And as I said, I will put a link down in the description box to show you how to make these bows. This particular bow I did using two different color ribbons. So there is a close-up of the bow. Okay, so now here is the next bow. Sorry about that. And it looks like this. And your bows can be as fluffy as you want them. It all depends on how many loops you make. So as I said, this one was my favorite one because it reminds me of the colors that were in my wedding. So I'm going to show you the next one. So here is the next one. And this one was made with some, I think the ribbon was 2.5 inches wide. And the bows work out better when you use wire ribbon. It just, because you can shape the loops better when you're using the wire edge ribbon. And then the last bow, that one actually was just a pre-made bow, and I'll get that one so you can see what it looks like. So this is the last bow. Now with this one, what it basically was is that it was a strip with the ribbon, and then you just pull the red, I guess this is ribbon, and it would shape the loops. I'm sure you've seen these. They've had them at the dollar store. I got this one actually from my husband's aunt who passed away a couple of years ago. She had a stash of wrapping paper and bows, and I happened to find this one in there and thought this would be perfect for Christmas. Okay everybody, so now that I've shown you the glass blocks that I did with the bows, I was going to end the video, but then I realized I still had one more card and one more gift to make. So I'm going to show you that card, and this is what it looks like. Once again, I've used my embroidery machine, and I really like this angel. So I decided to make another one, and I just changed up the colors. And I did, once again, use my pan pastels, which look like this, to color in the image after I did the stitching. And then I went ahead and added some bling along the wings. You know, I had to put that bling in there. And then for my inside, I just went ahead and took some cardstock to cover up the stitching, and then I'd use my print and cut to do my inside sentiment. And I did also use the print and cut to do this image that's in the background here. So that is definitely my last card for 2016. So now, I'll just lay this over here. As far as the gift, I did use my embroidery machine again, and I actually also used my serger sewing machine. And if you don't know what a serger is, I'll put a picture of one up here in the video. And I went ahead and made this scarf, and I embroidered the snowflakes on here, and then on the edge I did the serging just to give it a different effect. But it is a scarf, and then I cut the little fringe down here on the end. I'm trying to see if I can get all this in the camera, and I don't want to get anything on it because it is white. But here's the fringe, and it's just a scarf made out of fleece. It took me maybe, I would say, 20-30 minutes to do the embroidery and to do the serging on the side here. That was maybe another 10-15 minutes, and then to cut the strip. So all in all, the project took me less than an hour. So that is it, everybody. That is the last of my 2016 Christmas card gifts and projects, and this is also my last video for 2016. I want to thank everybody for watching my channel this year. I know I didn't record a lot of videos this year due to health issues and the problems that I have with my shoulder and hand. Hopefully, when I come back in 2017, I'll be my old self, and I'll be able to do a lot more videos and come up and show you with some new projects and things that I'm working on. So once again, thank you for watching, and have a safe and happy holiday season. Bye, and see you in 2017.